Hello, welcome back to my channel Hasnul Fikri. Uh, Now I will discuss about clutch. Clutch and is a mechanical device used to transmit power from one component to another when activated or connected. Unlike the brakes that stop the wheel rotation speed when activated, clutch is used when the ability to transmit the require power or move will be connected or controlled at a certain time. No exception is the control of torque or rotational speed that will be transmitted from the engines to another component. The simplest application of the clutch is to connect two rotation shaft, where one of the shaft become the driving force. In this case, one shaft or drive shaft is attached to the motor or other power source, while the other shaft or driven shaft is connected to the warload. For example, on a drilling machine, one shaft is connected to the motor and one shaft is connected to the shaft. Clutch connect to shaft so that they can be connected and rotate at the same speed or rotate wheel with with different rotation speed. Clutch is one of the auto parts that function to connect and reduce engine speed to the transmission unit. Although it is very simple, spare parts which are part of the power transfer system or powertrain have a very important role. Without the clutch, the transmission gear will not be able to enter easily when the car shifts gear, like some other auto parts. The clutch has interconnected components along with a few of them. Clutch cover. Clutch cover, which is also known as Sun clutch or clutch house, is a clutch component that is mounted on the flywheel by bolting. Its function is a clutch holder canvas. Inside the clutch cover itself, there are other components that help the clutch work, namely the pressure plate and clutch spring. This pressure plate is what press the clutch to the flywheel to channel power from the engine the exhaust shaft. Clutch canvas, clutch lining, or also called clutch or clutch plate, is a clutch component that works closely with the clutch cover unit to continue the rotation iron. uh, Shaped like this and made of special material that are resistant to shock and friction, namely asbestos. Clutch lining is a component that can wear out, so it must be replaced if the wear has begun to be felt. Clutch fork. A clutch fork or liberator fork is a component mounted on the transmission housing. This one clutch component accepts to compressive force from the clutch release, so it works depending on the pull from the clutch release. So when the clutch pedal is stepped on, the clutch fork will push the release bearing in a back and forward motion to the press the clutch cover so that rotation of the engine is cut off. Release bearing. Release bearing is a bearing from from or a bearing or processor located between the clutch spring and the release port. Its its function is to press the spring plate on the clover clutch. The processor type of the release bearing must be pressure resistant and be able to spin gently when pressed because this component will be pressed by the clutch for while working. Clutch pedal. Clutch pedal is an input component that function to change and is clutch control. The work of this pedal will use a lever where at the end of the pedal there is a hang. At the bottom of this hang is a push rod and connected to the master cylinder piston. The harness of the clutch is greatly affected by the clutch pedal. In addition, in this component there is a high adjustment, coupling, and free ply. Usually, this adjustment is at the bottom, but is more effective when placed in a pedal. Not only does it make it easier, but adjustment can be done without the need for many tools. To master cylinder. The function is master cylinder converts mechanical energy into hydraulic pressure, whether it's on the brake or on the clutch, which use hydraulic drive. But the function of the master cylinder on the brake is certainly different in the clutch of the car. In the clutch system, usually only use a simple type of master cylinder with a piston in it. For the reservoir itself, it still uses the type of brake fluid reservoir. So there is a connecting hose from the reservoir and the master. Pressure plate. This pressure plate has a function to press the clutch so that it's not pinched with a flywheel. This component is shaped like a plate made from thick cast iron. This form is due to the force of the pressure plate, which must be able to press the clutch plate in high strength without causing a wear or a slap plate. The position of this is after the clutch, which is connected to the clutch cover, so that the pressure plate and flywheel have the same RPM. Next, diaphragm spring. Diaphragm spring function to pull the pressure plate when the clutch pedal is stamped on. Okay, how to work the clutch? When the clutch pedal is pressed on, the master cylinder will be depressed. The pressure applied to the master cylinder will press the piston on the master cylinder, which will press the fluid. The fluid will flow in the fluid hose and the press release cylinder. Release cylinder will press release port. Then release port will press release bearing. Pressure on the bearing release will press the diaphragm spring. So the diaphragm spring will pull the pressure plate so that the pressure on the clutch plate is released from the flywheel, and finally the clutch plate is free. So the rotation from the engine to the transmission stop. That's when the change of gear is transmitted. After the gear change is done, the clutch pedal is released so that the rotation from the engine to transmission will be resumed. Okay, thank you for watching my video, and don't forget like and subscribe my channel in here.